Using the power of a product rule. Simplify each of the following products as much as possible using the power of a product rule. Write answers with positive exponents. For example A, we have two items that are in parentheses, g squared and h cubed. Both of those items are being raised to the fifth power. So we can write them separately. I'll write g squared and then raise that to the fifth power, and then multiply that by h cubed raised to the fifth power. When you have two objects that are sitting right next to each other, like the g squared and the h cubed, the overall operation is multiplication, so I'm keeping that when I rewrite them with the different exponents. We know that when we have an exponent raised to an exponent, the power to a power, we can multiply those exponents together. So I'll have g to the 2 times 5, and then I'll have h to the 3 times 5, which gives us g to the 10th power times h to the 15th, or I can get rid of that multiplication sign in the middle and just write it like this. Example B, the base here is 5t, so both the 5 and the t will be raised to the third power. 5 to the third power, 5 times 5 times 5 is 125, and then that t cubed will just stay like that. Example C, I have a -3 that'll be raised to the third power, and then I have y to the fifth that will be raised to the third power. -3 cubed is 27, but I've got that negative sign. I've got -3 times -3 times -3. That's going to give us a -27. And then y will be raised to the 5 times 3 power. So it looks like I've got -27 y to the 15th power. For example D, I've got some objects down in the denominator, but we can still follow the same process we've been using. I will have a to the 6th and then to the third power, and then b to the 7th and then to the third power. That's all in the denominator. So I've got a to the 6 times 3 and b to the 7 times 3. So it looks like I've got a to the 18th power and b to the 21st power. I don't need that multiplication symbol there in the denominator. I can just write the two variables next to each other like this. And then for example E, I have r cubed and then raised to the 4th power, and s to the -2 power and then to the 4th power. So this is r to the 3 times 4 power, and s to the -2 times 4 power. So I've got r to the 12th and s to the -8th. We know that when we have a negative exponent, that means that that item needs to change its location. So we'll put that s down in the denominator and change the exponent to be positive.